On August 18th, 1894, in Australia near Seal Rocks, the SS Burrowong began to encounter rough seas and severe weather. Suddenly, several sailors aboard the ship witnessed a trumpet-shaped funnel cloud slowly descend right above them. This water whirlwind then crashed into the sea right next to their ship. Within a few minutes, several more of these water spouts descended all around them. The captain recalled seeing up to 7 different water spouts at one time. One of these water spouts started acting very strange. It went horizontal halfway down and then proceeded to create an entire loop. The captain stated this: water was spouting up in a continuous stream right up into the cloud. Then the spout became very long, swaying and coiling, almost like a serpent. All at once it made a complete coil and then burst. Great quantities of water poured out of the lower part of the coil, and in a few seconds the whole thing vanished. Soon, the water spouts dissipated and the sailors aboard the SS Burrowong took a sigh of relief. They had just encountered a natural phenomenon that they had only read about in old scientific texts. They had seen diagrams of ships being buried out at sea by huge swarms of water spouts, and they found out that this can actually occur in real life. But can such a looping water spout really occur? Well, in rare occasions, yes. Take a loop at this footage of a similar water spout captured over the Black Sea only a few years back. Yeah, pretty wild. This is one of the strangest whirlwind rope tornadoes I have ever witnessed. Now, while it didn't loop, after watching that footage, I wouldn't be surprised if looping water spouts occur in nature. Water spouts are weird. They're still a bit of an enigma even to this day. And honestly, there's something that's kind of eerie and creepy about them. And that's what we'll be covering in today's video. We'll be discussing the many different types of water spouts and the observational history of said water spouts. We'll also be going over strange and rare water spout phenomena, including the ultra rare, ultra creepy water spout outbreak / swarm. But before we get to that, I am officially a YouTuber because I got sponsored by the most YouTuber thing to get sponsored by, Raid Shadow Legends. I'm sure you've probably heard of Raid Shadow Legends, but they actually have a brand new event featuring all the favorite characters from the beloved story Alice in Wonderland. And they just sent me a promo for said event, so we're going to check it out right now. That's Alice right there.
In this world, I've died 1,000 deaths. But each one
She seems to be in some sort of time lock.
Better.
Oh, there's the Mad Hatter. Looking pretty scary. It's a pretty scary Mad Hatter. Alright, that's actually pretty sweet. That actually looks pretty cool. Just by opening Raid on 14 separate days, players can receive that legendary champion Alice the Wanderer for free, along with a number of other gifts. You must begin the 14-day segment before March 26. The Queen of Hearts has taken residence in the event dungeon, which you must conquer. Between January 8th and March 5th, battle her and her minions to win fantastic rewards. Raid Shadow Legends is cross-platformed. It's on mobile, PC, and Mac. Be sure to click the link in the description or scan this QR code to download Raid. Really helps out the channel, and if you want, you can even join my clan. Through my link, you will get a massive new player bonus. You will immediately get a huge starter pack with an epic champion Ultimate Gaelic from the Orcs faction, and you'll get another starter pack after reaching level 15 that includes Epic Fane. Many consider her a better champion than some legendaries. These two champions are only available after downloading via my custom link or QR code. Also, if you're here waiting for that secret promo, here it is. After downloading my link, use promo code Monkey King to get the legendary champion Sun Wukong for free. That promo code is available until February 7th, so be quick. Thank you so much to Raid Shadow Legends for sponsoring the video. The earliest accounts of water spouts we have occurred over 2,000 years ago. In Meteorologica, Aristotle was one of the earliest natural philosophers to make theories regarding the origins of water spouts and tornadoes. According to Aristotle, tornadoes and waterspouts are caused by wind that is caught inside clouds that moves in a round pattern. A waterspout is then created when the wind leaves the cloud and carries the cloud as it descends. Roman authors, such as Pliny the Elder, advanced the early notions proposed by Greek thinkers. For the next several centuries, the theories put forward by the natural philosophers of Greece and Rome dominated the field of meteorology. It wouldn't be until the 17th century that new, more intriguing theories would emerge. According to a theory made popular by French physicist Jean-Charles Peltier, waterspouts were a form of electrical phenomena. Not quite sure how he came up with that. Maybe it's because sometimes lightning occurs with waterspouts. But this theory was very popular throughout Europe. Even Benjamin Franklin was really into waterspouts. He also studied and released theories on them. The curiosities of these strange trumpet-shaped clouds continued to intrigue scientists. But it really wasn't until the modern era that we actually figured out what the heck was going on. So what the heck is actually going on? What causes these water spouts to form? Well, there are two types of water spouts: tornadic water spouts and non-tornadic or fair weather water spouts. Tornadic water spouts are literally just normal tornadoes that occur over water. That is, a tornado that has formed from a mesocyclonic supercell. So technically, if a tornado in Oklahoma crosses a river or a lake, for that brief moment, it's a water spout, a tornadic water spout. Now, non-tornadic or fair weather water spouts are a bit different. They actually don't form from supercell thunderstorms. They occur under very specific water conditions. If water towards the surface of an ocean or a large lake or any body of water is very warm, like 90 degrees Fahrenheit warm, that surface water can actually evaporate and form clouds above the water's surface. Those clouds cool at a slower rate than the surrounding dry air, leading to instability, causing an updraft within the cloud. This leads to an inflow of air beneath the cloud and above the surface of the water. Sometimes it kind of starts off as a little mist, a little, above the surface, a little circle in the water. Wind can then come from the side, interact with the inflow, forming a vortex and a condensation funnel. And that is your typical fair weather water spout. The biggest factor in all this is warm water. For this reason, water spouts are very common in tropical waters. The Florida Keys sees the most water spouts, up to 400 a year. It's like one a day. More than one a day. Places like the Mediterranean Sea also see a large amount of water spouts. The Gulf of Mexico, or is it the Gulf of America? What's it called now? Wikipedia says the Gulf of Mexico, so we're just going to stick with the Gulf of Mexico. But the Gulf of Mexico sees loads of water spouts all along the Florida coast and up towards the shores of Louisiana and Mississippi. Northern areas like the Great Lakes can also see their fair share of water spouts throughout the late summer and early fall, when that water is at its peak temperature. Water spouts can be quite massive, 100 to 30 feet wide and 2,000 feet tall. That's taller than any building in the US. Wind speeds for fair weather water spouts are around 70 to 100 miles per hour, similar to an EF0 or EF1 tornado. Obviously, a tornadic water spout can have wind speeds over 300 miles per hour. Check out this footage of a tornadic water spout crossing a river. You do not want to be caught in that. Much more intense than one of these guys. But these guys, these fair weather water spouts, they can still be quite dangerous and deadly. While the vast majority of water spouts are weak and never come to shore, some do, and they can really mess up several beach umbrellas. Fair weather water spouts can also be quite dangerous if you're in a boat. In fact, one of the deadliest tornado events in the past year, in 2024, may have been caused by a water spout. Tech billionaire Mike Lynch was accused of committing fraud in San Francisco, but after the trial he was acquitted of all charges, and to celebrate, him and a bunch of colleagues and family decided to spend the night of August 18th out on the Mediterranean Sea aboard his luxury yacht, the Basian. Early in the morning around 4 a.m. on August 19th, just off the coast of Sicily, the boat suddenly began to shake. Witnesses on the shore claimed that they had seen a water tornado drop from the sky and strike the boat. The boat then capsized and sank within a few short minutes. Out of the 22 on board, 7 lives were lost, including the tech billionaire himself, Mike Lynch. Surprisingly, the 7 victims did not die from drowning. According to their autopsies, they died from asphyxiation as they were trapped within an air bubble within the yacht 100 feet beneath the surface on the floor of the Mediterranean Sea. Now, some officials do believe that the sinking of the yacht was actually caused by a downburst, not a water spout. That's a different, weather phenomenon. Also can be quite dangerous, especially for planes. However, it's worth noting that another nearby yacht was perfectly intact and undamaged from the storm, pointing to a more direct strike on the Basian. A few years back, I did a video on the deadliest weak tornadoes. One very common factor in these events was water. Being on a boat in high winds is a recipe for disaster. The Whippoorwill disaster on June 17, 1978 saw 16 fatalities when an F1 tornadic waterspout over Lake Pomona in Kansas struck the Whippoorwill showboat, capsizing it. This specific F1 tornado is the deadliest F1 tornado on record. You don't even need a tornado or a waterspout to have a tragic water event. Sometimes just severe thunderstorms can cause a deadly disaster, like the Table Rock Lake duck boat disaster on July 18, 2018. As a derecho hit southern Missouri, a duck boat with 31 people aboard sank, leading to 17 fatalities. Another weak F1 tornado turned waterspout killed 6 individuals on May 26, 1974 over the Wacama River in South Carolina. Late in the evening, around 11 p.m., 2 families and 3 children were heading back to the marina. When they were only a quarter-mile away from the dock, a waterspout struck their 20-foot boat, capsizing it, leading to 6 of the 7 family members drowning. A very tragic event that has become forgotten over time. So non-tornadic fair-weather waterspouts have proven to be dangerous in certain conditions, but they are not nearly as deadly as true mesocyclonic water tornadoes. Some of the deadliest tornado events in history were tornadic waterspouts. The deadliest tornado event in all of European history occurred on September 23, 1551, when a waterspout struck the Grand Harbor of Malta, destroying several large vessels, resulting in the deaths of over 600 individuals. It was the 5th deadliest tornado event in recorded history. Modern researchers have retroactively given the Grand Harbor tornado a Toro 7 rating, close to an EF3 or an EF4 rating, with wind speeds around 180 miles per hour. An estimated F5 tornado turned waterspout killed over 300 individuals when a powerful wedge massive tornado destroyed several ships while crossing the Mississippi River near Natchez, Mississippi on May 7, 1840. Overall, 116 boats were destroyed. In the following weeks, remnants from these boats were found over 30 miles away. However, the most iconic waterspout, at least to me, my favorite waterspout, I guess that sounds kind of bad, but I'm talking about the Great Miami Tornado on May 12, 1997. It was only an F1 tornado, and fortunately, no one died. But check out this footage from a local television station.
Full condensation on the funnel as the whole system here is fully illuminated. So it is moving east to northeast at this point, and it's about to move over the causeway pretty soon. But you can see that's a huge area of water that is now being sprayed up from the water and up into the funnel itself. Behind it, there's a little trail in the water that sort of marks where it has been right there. As it continues to move to the northeast, it's almost ready to go over the Venetian Causeway.
Incredible footage. Also, look how huge it is. Like, look at it compared to the buildings. Seriously, a beautiful tornado. And this image of the tornado over downtown Miami is wild. Let's move on to the next section. Rare waterspout phenomena. Of course, we've already talked about that looping horizontal waterspout witnessed on the SS Burrowang, but there are other enigmatic phenomena associated with these strange water tornadoes. For example, multi-walled waterspouts. Multi-walled waterspouts refer to waterspouts that seem to have several inner funnels. These are observed somewhat frequently, but are still kind of rare. There have also been reports of forked waterspouts, although there's not much credibility to these reports. One example comes from a sighting of a forked waterspout in the South China Sea on May 19, 1967. A much more likely scenario is that there was 2 waterspouts and one of them was kind of hidden behind the other and it like forked out, and then from a certain vantage point it looked like a forking waterspout. Although there is footage of 2 waterspouts joining together at the base. And there are twin waterspouts. So it's not super crazy to think that somewhere along the line they converged into one, creating a sort of forked waterspout, but perhaps more of an upside down forked waterspout. One of the craziest waterspout phenomena that I had read about were 2 separate reports of waterspout funnels connecting between 2 different cumulus clouds. It's way more likely that these were just clouds in between the 2 clouds that kind of looked like waterspouts, like maybe like a scud cloud or something. Although seeing something like this would look pretty sweet. Some other rare waterspout phenomena include this photo of what appears to be a luminous waterspout, aka a waterspout that's glowing in the dark. This would be crazy to witness. I mean, can you imagine sitting on a beach and seeing a glowing tornado on the horizon over the waters? That would be crazy. I don't know what is going on in this photo, but technically this could be possible. Like if a waterspout picked up a bunch of creatures that have bioluminescence, the tornado would glow. That's crazy to think about. There's also triple waterspouts. These look terrifying. They look kind of like a, like a Cthulhu kind of situation, of monster tentacles up above the clouds. Kind of like War of the Worlds. I'm getting War of the World vibes with this, like the little tripods. Those, okay, this is now the creepiest form of nature. But speaking of triple waterspouts, probably the most creepy form of waterspout phenomena are waterspout swarms, or clusters. One of the earliest depictions of a waterspout swarm included over 30 different waterspouts. Near the Bahamas on February 12, 1888, Captain Richard J. Gray from the British steamship Ernmore saw a misty circle over the water near his ship. This misty circle occurred under cloudy skies, but the weather was, in general, pretty tame. Suddenly, what appeared to be a large column of water formed over the circle and rose high into the sky until it reached the cloud base. It was a classic example of a water spout. But after this water spout, another water spout formed on the other side of the ship, and then another one after that. Soon they began forming all around, and in the end, Gray had claimed that he had witnessed over 30 different water spouts in the span of only a few hours. And he wasn't alone. 20 water spouts were observed by a nearby Norwegian steamship. In fact, swarms of water spouts have been observed for hundreds of years. Many historical depictions showcase long rows of water spouts striking and capsizing ships. According to history, these water spout swarms seem to happen quite often. So what exactly is going on? Does such a natural phenomenon actually exist? Are there modern accounts of water spout outbreaks like this? Yes. And let's be real, the idea of these water spout swarms can be quite creepy. If you live on the coast or if you're on a ship out at sea, seeing something like this off in the distance, it's got some nightmarish vibes to it. The fact that they're just kind of there lingering, needle fingers sticking out of the clouds on the... I don't know, it's pretty creepy. In fact, the 2011 horror film Take Shelter features several apocalyptic scenes featuring the formation of dozens of water spouts off in the distance, slowly approaching the shore. So yeah, they're definitely creepy. But how do they form? Well, if conditions are just right, water spout development can explode. For example, let's take a look at the Great Lakes water spout outbreak that occurred in late September, early October 2003. Many water spouts occurred over the course of a few days, but on one day in particular, October 2nd, 21 water spouts occurred around the same time. What's interesting though is this event was actually predicted to occur. During this time of the year, the waters of the Great Lakes are at their peak temperature, close to 90 degrees Fahrenheit. This is from all the summer heating. So one, you have warm waters. Two, a major cold front was coming in from the northwest, and this stream of cold air crossed directly over the Great Lakes, and with this cold stream came a lot of atmospheric instability. Throughout the course of a few days, there were a few water spouts that would form every once in a while, but there was one additional factor that created a water spout swarm in a specific location. On October 2nd, over Lake Ontario, a converging line of embedded thunderstorms and showers had formed. Meanwhile, above the lake, a surface trough was heading south from Ontario. Radar showed the development of a strong convergence line when these two features interacted. This line of thunderstorms produced at least 21 water spouts. Most of the water spouts occurred and dissipated over the lake, but a few did make it to shore, and one even caused a bit of damage. Good news though, while there were a ton of water spouts in a line looking scary beyond belief, they were all very weak and thin. So essentially they were harmless. The Great Lakes does have a long history of water spout swarms and outbreaks. A photo of 12 simultaneous water spouts was captured over Lake Huron in the 1980s. I couldn't find this photo, but apparently it's like the record for the most simultaneous water spouts ever captured in one photo. But the Great Lakes isn't the only location where these water spout outbreaks occur. Only a few years ago, a Finnish border guard member reported seeing up to 7 water spouts at once off the northern portion of Åland, a series of islands off the southwest coast of Finland. There were quadruple water spouts in Zambron, Italy on August 5th, 2020, and another major water spout outbreak took place early in the morning on Sunday, January 21st, 2018 off the coast of Corfu, an island of Greece. But my favorite water spout swarm event ever was captured by Frank Lede on August 20th, 2020. This event occurred out in the Gulf of Mexico near Louisiana, and this photo right here is one of the craziest captures of any natural phenomenon that I've ever seen. What's crazy and different about this water spout cluster when compared to others is just how close they all are to each other. I mean, they're so close. I would hate to be in a boat caught in the middle of that. That would be terrifying and not good. Maybe those historic depictions had some truth to them. I mean, shipping, like boats were really common back in the day because you didn't have planes. So there was a lot of boats out there, and I mean, if you're in the wrong place at the wrong time, this could actually happen. Definitely an insane thing to capture on film. This was also, by the way, 80 miles off the coast, so this was like out at sea. Knowing that, this sort of phenomenon probably actually occurs all the time out in the middle of the ocean, and there's just no one there to witness them. Fortunately, waterspout outbreaks or clusters appear to be quite tame. Usually the more waterspouts, the weaker they are. So if you live on the coast, if you live on a boat, you can sleep soundly through the night. I mean, you still want to look at your weather in case there's a hurricane or something coming, but you can sleep through the night and not worry about waterspout swarms. Unfortunately though, creepy waterspout clusters are likely to become more common. Like I said, the biggest factor in the formation of these water columns are warm water temperatures. So if waters continue to warm globally, waterspouts are likely to become more common. So stay safe, keep an eye out for these enigmatic water features. They are really quite intriguing and quite creepy. But thank you so much for watching today's video, and be sure to check out Raid Shadow Legends. Link to that is in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.